let's quickly talk chapter 24, Great Expectations. This is one of our shorter chapters, but still I think it's a pretty important chapter because it shows us more in depth of some of these new London characters. First, Pip learns that he is not to be trained for a certain trade or a cerin job. He's just to be trained as a gentleman, and ultimately I don't think Pip's too dissatisfied with this. He's gonna revel in this. He's gonna like it. He also tells us at the bottom of page 208, where chapter 24 starts, that he feels that Mr. Pocket is serious, honest, and good. These are Pip's feelings towards him. This doesn't necessarily have to do with how he feels about his treatment of his children. It has to do more with how he feels about him as his educator. Serious, honest, and good. That's the three words that he thinks define Mr. Pocket. Now, Pip has decided he wants to live at Barnard's Inn, where Herbert Pocket lives, but he has to ask Jaggers if that is okay, because Jaggers is ultimately his guardian, as we know. He goes to ask Jaggers, and he's not only asking if he can live there, but he's like, I need furniture if I'm going to be comfortable. So he ultimately gets £20 for furniture from Jaggers, and this is after a whole back and forth. No, I'm not going to say dispute. I'm just going to say a back and forth, a quick rebuttal, and he ultimately leaves with £20 to get furniture to suit his place. He feels comfortable with Wemmick. We know Pip likes Wemmick, and we like Wemmick. Wemmick's upbeat, a pretty happy feeling in the midst of London, I think is what Wemmick is. But he's like, Wemmick, what the heck was that? And Wemmick tells Pip that that's just Jaggers. Like, it's nothing personal. He's just professional. And it's not just that he's professional in his job. He's professional in every single thing he does in life. So when you're talking to him, it's not like you're really talking to a person. You're talking to someone who everything in their mind is work. Just professional guy. They go on to kind of explain Jaggers' professionalism and how work is his whole ordeal when Wemmick starts showing Pip around the place. We had already been told about these before, but there wasn't any in-depth discussion of what they were. The first time Pip went to Jaggers' office, he saw casts of people, which is ultimately going to be like a face mold. And they were eerie, but he didn't ask about them. Well, now Wemmick explains that these face molds are ultimately some of Jaggers' celebrities. Not really celebrities, but the famous crimes that he has worked with, being a lawyer, and these casts are made of the people that ultimately died due to the law. Now, this shows us kind of the problems with the law and with the court system during London at this time, but it also shows us more just how desensitized Jaggers is to humankind and people. Like Wemmick said, it's all professional. It's all about work. These molds show that he takes pride in his work, even if the result is death. Pretty dark. However, it's described lightly by Wemmick, because that's just who Wemmick is. Upbeat, lively, and Wemmick is working for Jaggers. This is his source of income. This is, his right-hand man. So Wemmick is also desensitized to this. Pip doesn't seem too bothered either, because it's all professional. It's just the business of money. Money. That's all that's being thought about in many instances in this book. We see this blatantly right here with Pip, Jaggers, and Wemmick. Now, ultimately, it goes on to say that these people are property. They're all business. They're literally, his job is just money. Wemmick invites Pip to his house later on. This is a nice gesture. He does not have to do it. It's just going to show us more of the niceness of Wemmick, and also maybe even the loneliness of Wemmick, because we know he's kind of like Pip. But it ends, and Wemmick's like, you want to go see Jaggers at work? And Pip goes, and he sees why maybe he is so popular, because he's got everyone in the room rattled, cross-examining, ultimately getting people to confess, just because he's so good at his job. It's great to be good at a job, but it can also be dangerous when that is your whole life. And ultimately, that's what it's just showing us, that Jaggers is 100% to and through for being a lawyer, and he loves money and he loves to win. Ultimately, professional. But that is all of chapter 24. I know it's short, but the chapter was short. So that's beautiful. I hope that cleared up a lot of I know a lot of us were struggling with these chapters, 24, 25, and 26. So I'm going to do individual videos just to help out. Remember, we're really just introducing life in London, and we're really, really just trying to hone in on who these characters are